So this is going to be a short yoga practice to free out everything after a day's work, sitting at the desk in the office. We're going to start in standing, hands on your thighs, and then you're going to rotate your arms so they point forward, shoulders open up through the front of your chest. Inhale as you reach your hands overhead, and then exhale as you fold. So soften your knees, fold through your hips, and then let your spine round. Press into your feet, press your hands against your shins, and think about making your spine long as you just lift halfway. And then as you exhale, fold forward again. You're going to do this 2 more times. So press through your feet. We're going to go all the way up, hands against the thighs, and then rotate the arms out so the palms face forward. Reach your arms overhead, and then bring the hands back down through the center of your chest as you fold. And we're folding at our knees, hips, and spine. You're going to inhale as you lift up halfway and think about creating loads of length from your tailbone through to the crown of your head. And then exhale as you fold forward. And 1 more of these. Press into your feet. Come all the way up. Rotate those shoulders to face, hands face forward, arms overhead. Folding forward. And your last half lift. Press your hands into your shins and think about loads of length through your spine as you lift up halfway. Then we're going to fold forward and come onto our hands and knees. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. And as you breathe in, lift your tailbone, belly drops, lift your head and chest. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone and round your spine up towards the ceiling. And you're going for 3 of these. Then tuck your toes underneath, and you're going to press your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. Just make sure that your tailbone stays sticking up. We don't want to over round your back. You're keeping that natural curve. And just pedal through your heels 1 at a time. 1 heel presses into the floor, and this will stretch your calves and your hamstrings gently. If you don't want all that stretch, just keep the knees bent and breathe. Then we're going to bring our weight back to our hands, plant our knees nice and wide, big toes together, and move back into a child's pose. Resting your head towards the ground, and then just rock your forehead from left to right to free up the neck. Bring yourself back onto all fours, and we're going to repeat that sequence. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Inhale as you lift your head and chest, and exhale as you round your spine up towards the ceiling. And you're going for 3 of them. Tuck your toes underneath, lift your hips up and back, and 3 breaths here, either staying still or you can pedal the heels, whatever feels good. Then the knees go to the mat nice and wide, big toes together, press back into your child's pose, and 3 breaths here, rocking your forehead from left to right. Last round of these, come back onto all fours, 3 cat-cows, in sync with your breath. Tuck your toes underneath, press back into your downward facing dog. 3 breaths here, spread the fingers, press through the hands, hips lift up and back. Pedaling the heels is optional. If it's too much of a stretch, don't do it. Then knees down, nice and wide, big toes together. And this time place both hands to the left of the mat, right hand on top. Rest your head in your right arm and take 3 breaths here. Opening up the right side of your torso. And then hands over to the right side of the mat, left hand on top. 3 breaths here, opening up the left side of your torso. Gently, shouldn't feel like a big stretch. Cool. And then we're going to come back to all fours, walk our knees back a little bit more, so we're in a little modified plank. You're going to wrap your elbows in tight to your waist and lower down. Then plant your forearms on the ground and just lift your head and chest so you're in a nice little Sphinx pose. And you're just here for 2 or 3 breath cycles. Then lower the chest down, reach the arms back by your side, palms face up, and we're just going to do 3 darts. Lift your shoulders away from the ground, feel your shoulder blades hug your back, float the arms up. Keep your head in line with your spine so it's not going to drop. Hold it up there for 3 seconds, then lower down, and repeat 2 more times, so just 3 of them. You're just getting stuff moving. And last one. Then bring your hands forward and you're going to lift right arm, left leg. Hold for 3 seconds. Feel your right shoulder blade and your left bum cheek engage in this exercise. Then lower down and then do the opposite side. Feel the left shoulder blade, right butt cheek engage. If it helps, you can push down into the hand and the leg that are on the ground. It'll help engage your core muscles. And 1 more each side. Lift the right arm, left leg. Leg is straight. All the lift comes from your hip. It's just a little bit. And then swap. Hold it for 3 seconds. Cool. Then a little bit of gentle rotation. You're going to slide your right knee and your right elbow towards each other. You're going to take your left hand and thread it through. So all your line on your left side or your left shoulder. You're going to keep this right arm bent. And think about the movement coming from your chest. You're going to open out just as far as is comfortable for you. Cool. If this leg needs to lift, that's fine. Let it lift. So you're not going to push it down to the ground. Cool. And then just let your body roll as far as is comfortable over to that right side, opening up through the front of the right chest. And you're here for 3 breaths again. So you think about breathing into that right side of the torso, all the way from your armpit down towards the lower rib cage. To come out of it, reach your right arm long and reach your left leg long and come back onto your tummy, and then we'll just do the other side. So left elbow towards left knee, they both bend. Thread your right arm through and then open up. Make sure you keep that arm bent, a nice short lever, won't put too much force. And then you're just opening up to the left. And just go as far as is comfortable, so don't force your arm down if it doesn't want to go, and the leg can lift a little if it needs to. And again, you're here for 3 breaths. Focus on breathing into that left side of the body. If you're really tight, you can always have like a rolled up mat or a weight bag or something here that your hand rests on, so it doesn't need to go all the way to the floor. Then reach the left arm and left leg long, roll back onto your tummy. Press back onto your hands and knees. When you're on all fours, straighten out your right leg. You'll have done these before with a band. You're going to keep your lumbar spine still. You can put your left hand on it. Tighten your bum, lift the leg, and lower. Cool. And you're just doing 3 on the right leg. And then swap and do 3 on the left leg. So this will get your glutes working, and it'll help to take tension away from your hip flexors before we stretch them. Then hip flexor stretch, put your right foot in front, knee in line with your hip. Reach your tailbone down towards the floor, and you should feel a stretch in the front of the left hip. Then reach your left hand up. Reach up and over towards the right to increase the stretch. And if you want, you can think about turning up to the left. So you can look up at that left arm. And you're here for 2 or 3 breaths. Then ease out of it and swap to the other side. Tuck your tailbone, feel the stretch, reach your arm up, and then turn to open up to the right. And then come out of it, and 1 more time, all fours, kick the right leg back, tighten your glute, and lift the leg. And you're going for 3. It's just getting things moving, you're not working them to overload them, to strengthen them. And then do the other leg for 3. And then go back to your hip flexor stretch again. Tuck your tailbone, reach your left hand up, reach over to the right side, and if it feels good, turn up to open up to the left a little bit. And swap. And 3 breaths here about, feeling the stretch in your right hip flexor. Cool, almost done. Last 2 little stretches for the neck. Sit your bum onto your heels or just sit any way you're comfortable. Leave your right hand on your leg. Reach your left hand behind your back and take a hold of the right arm or your shirt if you can't reach all that way around. And then you're going to think about your right shoulder being pulled down towards the ground and tilt your head over to the left. And you're just going to nod your head forward and back. So you should feel the stretch going from your ear down to your collarbone. And then swap it over. Cool, and then last little bit, sit with your hands on your lap. Imagine your breastbone with a little laser beam on it. Start off rounded so it points down, and then lift your breastbone up. Turn your palms out and open your arms out to the side. And as you breathe out, allow your breastbone to round down, palms go back down onto the thighs. And you're just doing 3 of these and sync with your breath. Cool, and then you're all done.